Today on my review table, I have the Wuben T70 4200 lumen flashlight. This light is powered by an included 26650 battery and has USB-C for recharging on the back here. Wuben as a brand has been out for a little while, but for me this is the first light I have had from them. Thanks to Wuben for sending this to me to take a look at. Here is the Wuben packaging, and it's a really nice box. A lot of thought was put into the design and perfection of this packaging. On the outside, it's a black box with a picture of the light with a few stats on the front. On the back, you have all the stats you want to know, like what LED it's got in it, how bright it is, what it includes, and then your runtime stats. The box is a magnetic closure from the side, two little magnets in there. The light would sit here in the middle. You get a manual, which we'll look at later. You get a little warranty product cards you can fill in. And here's something I wish more brands did. It includes a born on date, and you can see when mine was built here in 2018. Just kind of a neat thing to have. Then you have your little pouch for all your accessories. You get a nice holster here. It's nylon. On the back, you've got a plastic D-ring, and you've got this belt loop here. Then you've got something that's a little bit different. You don't always have a spot for an extra cell to hold in there with a little bottom strap. You get a pair of extra O-rings. You get a Wuben branded USB-A to USB-C cable. This is for charging the light. And then you get a pretty simple Wuben branded lanyard. This light is made from aluminum and is anodized in a smooth black semi-gloss finish. Starting at the tail cap here, you can see it is flat. You have a bit of a milled-in area here that allows you to rotate the cap back. Inside the tail cap, you can see here, this is a really stiff double spring design. I don't know that I have a light that has a stiffer spring on it. This is super stiff. You have square cut threads. Mine came a bit dry, so I'll probably lube them up here after the review. And then you have that big O-ring on there. It also comes with, while I've got it apart, a Wuben branded 5000 milliamp hour 26650 battery with a protection circuit. I found no problems with this battery. Also on the rear of the light, you can see a lanyard hole. And then here's this little symbol that I like. It's a battery. It tells you what way the battery is oriented. That's just a little nice feature I wish more lights had. If we move on to the body tube of the light, it's glued in place. You can't disconnect it from the head easily. Lengthwise, it's got these grooves milled in that are about 4.25 millimeters in diameter. The head section of the light has quite a few areas milled into it, as you can see here, for cooling. On the back here is the USB-C charging port, and I tried it with different cables and was able to charge, so it's a standard depth, no problem there. The cap here fits pretty nicely. You do need to press it to make sure it gets down in there, but once it's in there, it doesn't move around much. You lift up the little front flap and it comes up easily enough. One thing I wish they would include is an extra one of these. Anyone that's held in with this little clip, one point I wish I'd get an extra because it feels like they're easy to rip out sometimes. If we look at the button here, it's a silicon button with a silver ring around it. When I turn on the light, you get blue. When the battery gets low or when it's charging, it goes red. It's kind of a nice indicator there. The front bezel is machined aluminum as well. It's in its raw machined state, kind of polished. And there's a look down at the reflector. Machining quality overall is very good for this price range of light. Edges are well chamfered where you expect them, and a little sharper in others to provide more grip. Overall, it creates a really nice package, and the anodizing is great quality too. Overall max length of this light is 140 millimeters. Maximum diameter in the head is 42 millimeters. Minimum diameter is 31 at the body tube. Weight with the included battery is 256 grams, and the light is IPX68 water rated, which is very respectable for an onboard charging light. Dropping it in water or even fully submerging it for a reasonable amount of time won't be an issue. I want to do a bit of comparison here with the Lumentop ODF 30. And these lights are really similar. They both use 26650 batteries, both have the same emitter. They're very similar in diameter in the head. The Lumentop is just slightly shorter. I like the extra length in the Wuben because I think it holds better in the hand and a little better balance too. It just feels pretty nice in the hand. It doesn't extend too far or is too short like we've seen from some other lights. And if you do want to choke up on it or do a different type of grip, you've got room to do that. The Wuben T70 features a Cree XHP 70.2 LED in neutral white. It's a big emitter, as you can see there. The box lists that Wuben plans to offer the light in warm, neutral, and cool white, which is awesome to see. I found the beam to be pleasing and pretty good all around. There's a hot spot in the center. It's relatively large, but still isn't too dim. It's a useful beam for general purpose. I'll kind of try to show it here with my video lights, but as we know, that doesn't work the best. My night shots and my static test will do best with that. It does have some Cree rainbow, being an XHP 70.2. The center is the most neutral white, and it goes a bit yellow on the outside of the hot spot and just slightly blue on the very outer edges of the spill. Overall, not a huge issue unless you're a really big tint snob. The reflector has a nice, aggressive orange peel, and it has a fairly thick piece of anti-reflective coated glass. Heat's pretty well controlled after 30 minutes of runtime. The light's warm at about 104 degrees, but not uncomfortable or dangerous. It's large enough that short runtimes get a little warmer, but nothing to be worried about. Here are my night shots for the Wuben T70, and as you can see, we've had some snow here, so it's pretty bright out, and I apologize for that, but we're just going to have to make do with it. I've got the Wuben T70 here on its lowest settings, and I'm going to pan up, and as I pan up here, I'll just start increasing the brightness on the ramping, and you can see it gets real bright, and we're still going. That's the top mode, so it's fairly slow ramp, and there I've kind of adjusted the exposure to kind of match what I'm seeing more to the eye. And if I come down, you can see how slow that is. And to switch between modes, if I triple click, the light will flash, let me know I'm in kind of the standard UI mode. That is turbo, so there is low, medium, high, and turbo, the full 4200 lumens. And this light throws well past the neighbor's fence, and it even throws into the trees that you can see there pretty well. Next time I do my night shots, hopefully it won't be snowing and we can go out to a little bit better location. So turbo runtime on this light is very good at about 3 minutes before the light steps down. The step down is significant to about 25% relative output, but remember that's about 1,000 lumens. It continues here for a solid 93 minutes before the light steps off sharply at low voltage protection. Overall runtime was 95 minutes from turbo. My runtime test was done with the included 5,000 mAh Wuben battery. So for UI, this light has two modes, and it's fairly easy to switch between them. Just triple click when the light's on, and it confirms you've switched by blinking. So here's the lights on, triple click, it blinked, and now I'm in the ramping mode. 1, 2, 3, and it blinks, and now I'm back in the predefined, more traditional flashlight modes. The standard UI for this light is the defined mode. At low, it's 40 lumens, medium at 400, high at 1300, and turbo at 4200. The light has memory, so when you shut it off, it remembers where you left off. So the light has instant access to turbo. You can press and hold, and it comes on here, and it stays on. You just single press to click off. I would recommend mechanically locking out this light so that it doesn't come on accidentally in a bag with that feature, but I haven't had a problem with it so far. The light has strobe. You just double click and you get this fast and slow strobe at 4200 lumens. It also has SOS, and to get to that you just double click the light and single click to switch between them. As mentioned, this light has ramping UI also available, but it's got some caveats. It starts on low and ramps up slowly, and we'll just keep ramping up here. And it flashes at the top to let you know where you're at the very top. However, if you're anywhere in the middle range, you can't go backwards at all. So I'm at the very brightest this light is. If I decide I want more brightness here somewhere in the middle, I've got to stop, and On a lot of lights, especially like the Narsil firmware lights, I can just press again and it'll brighten up. Not on this. You have to go all the way down or all the way up before you can go the opposite. And it does automatically cycle between them, so you can just watch it, blinks, and then it starts decreasing slowly. And this light also has memory. This mode also has memory, so if you're on that turbo setting and you shut it off, when you turn it back on again, you're going to go back to turbo. To improve this, I think would be simple. Just use Narsil firmware as a model. Its ability to reverse directions when the button is pressed and let go of is really great. And the light's also slow for the ramping mode. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds to go all the way from top to bottom. As I mentioned before, this light features USB-C for recharging, which is great, but it'll only charge with a USB-A to C cable like what's included with it. I tried charging with several USB-C to C cables with various power sources, and it wouldn't charge. This isn't the first time I've seen flashlights with USB-C that has that type of trait. I think it's a cost-cutting measure. Total charge time using a 2 amp power charger with the included 5,000 milliamp hour cable and supplied A to C battery was 3 hours and 31 minutes. So for me, the pros of this light are, it's got really nice machining, anodizing, and overall construction. I like that it has emitter tint options, including neutral, warm, and cool white, as well as body color choices. It comes in black, gray, and camouflage. I like that it has USB-C charging, but it's not USB-C to C compatible like other lights I've tested. And I like that it includes a pretty high quality 5,000 milliamp hour 26650 battery. For me, the cons are the ramping UI has no reverse, so if the light's too bright, you have to go all the way to the brightest or dimmest before you can reverse in the direction you want to go. I think this light would be more usable if it had the ability to ramp down when the button is pressed, kind of like the MSR D4 does. The manual needs a little bit of polish of a native English speaker for its translations. My conclusion is the Wuben T70 is a pretty good light without any major flaws. I can think of a few ways, in my opinion, to improve the ramping UI and make it USB-C PD compliant, and that would really, I think, make this light fantastic. It feels nice in the hand and is well balanced with the 26650 battery. I like that it comes in different body color as well as 3 emitter choices. If you're looking for a little bit larger general purpose light with USB-C recharging that throws pretty well, the Wuben T70 would be a great option. I'm looking forward to reviewing more lights from Wuben in the future to see what this new brand can really do. If you've got a T70 or have been eyeballing one, let me know in the description what you think of this light. As always, if you've got any questions, leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching these videos. Your support helps me to continue to bring videos like this to you. Thanks for watching.